Hello, Leo. My name is Nigel, and you have found Alchemy. This is your February 2024 reading. Okay, let's get started right away. You do have the separation card here. Now, this could obviously mean you're pulling away from someone or something in your life. This could be two parts of you going in two different directions. You could be leaving behind a part of yourself that was once very much a part of you. You might be breaking away from it like this. It's really hard to say. We just started the reading, so let's continue. We have insight here, and it says it opens the third eye to strengthen intuition. You might be called upon this month to use your intuition, to perhaps go against a part of yourself that thinks differently, to go against perhaps someone in your life that thinks differently. You may be very tempted to give in to someone to settle a situation. But I think Spirit is trying to tell you to dig deeper. Now, that said, it doesn't have to be another person. It could literally be you fighting a part of yourself. Two sides of yourself fighting. Should I go this way or should I go this way? Should I continue on this road? And if I do continue on this road, then there's a part of myself that needs to go away. And there's a new part of myself that needs to be reborn. Yeah, it could be any or all of those things. Let's keep going and we will figure this out. It says, see, it says lake depth. And this is number 31 in this deck. As you can see, she is beneath the surface, right? There is something, it's your intuition, right? The lake is obviously the water element. And when this card comes up, it's telling us do not take the shallow alternative, right? Dive deep, use your intuition, do the research. Do not cut corners. Don't cut corners. You may not initially see the whole picture, but there is a whole different part of this. This could be you, Leo. This really could be you. The top could be what you show people, and the bottom could be that whole part of you that no one knows exists, that may be struggling to come out, that may want to come out. We'll just keep going here. You do have the Tower, and the Tower on the Lenormand deck is a little bit different than the Tower in the tarot, right? So it is number 19 in this deck, and the appearance of the Tower from this deck anyway, it sort of beckons us to aspire to bigger goals, to focus on long-term things, long-term goals. This can also mean a divide, right? Just like that, those two birds going in different directions. This could mean a divide, a separation, a coming apart. We also witnessed that in that card. So it's very, very possible both of those things are true. You have starry wisdom here. And this says, used when seeking knowledge, wisdom, or advice from the outer world. There is more to this story, more to you than meets the eye. There may be parts of yourself that are coming to the surface that you didn't know existed. There may be more to a story than meets the eye. Use your intuition. Go beneath the surface. You do have number 9 here, and it says, it's your compassion that makes you shine. You are devoted to helping the greater good and have a strong talent for speaking up for others. Your soul is most satisfied when you are being of service. I am compassionate. The number 9 might mean something to you here, Leo, but being the compassionate person you are, I really think that for many of you, this has something to do with someone else. And for many, many, many of you, it is two parts of yourself. The compassion you're being asked to dig up is for you. You have another card here that says, give and take. Are you usually on the receiving end of the giving or the taking? Does your compassion sometimes get in the way of self-care? Are you so compassionate towards another person or a situation that you are neglecting certain aspects of yourself? I know that in the past, many of your readings, there was this imbalance, right? You have the bear, and the bear is strength. It says the bear symbolizes a strong source of support in times of difficulty and adversity. It may be time for you to stand up for your beliefs or your truth. With your strength and confidence, you are free to roam at will. You don't have to tell a Leo that twice. Bears tend to hibernate in the winter. You may have gone through a period of hibernation and now you're waking up. You do have, love this, you have authenticity coming in reverse. And, I don't know if you've watched any of my readings, but on this particular deck, when this particular deck comes in reverse, this is not something you need to go and look for or search for or work on. All of this stuff is happening for you to cultivate a more authentic version of yourself. You may be pulling away from an old part of you and making the current version even more authentic. Maybe the people-pleasing mode is falling away for many of you. You have, I'm going to do your charms before we get into the astrology. You have these letters, and these letters might mean something for you by the time the month ends. This could be someone's initials. This could be a place. It could be a city. It could be a school, could be anything like that. If you write down these letters and you keep them with you, at some point it'll click, right? So you have X. Wow, you have X. All right, we'll get to that. You have X. Look at my pointer. You have A. You have U. You have T as in Thomas, and you have M as in mom. So that might be someone's initials. Now, what's interesting here is when the X comes up, yes, this could mean an X. But when I look at the X, many times I see this. I see you Xing something out, getting rid of something, separating from something. Interesting. It doesn't exist. You don't want to see it anymore. You want something else. You want something different. You do have the arrow here in your charms, and this is bullseye. You have goals. I mean, this is also the sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is an optimistic, it's another fire sign, obviously. It is the archer, right? Pulling back that bow and letting it go, getting that bullseye. Optimism, Jupiter energy. Yeah, you do have money here, and this money is upside down. And, when we look at this, you may have hidden thoughts about money. You may have very private things that you're doing with your money or that you're considering doing with your money. It is not a negative thing at all. It is just something that's kept under wraps. There could be something you don't see yet. That's very positive. Obviously, this is a huge money charm, right? And it's something unseen when it's upside down. It's either unseen by you or you're making it unseen to others. You do have here Scorpio. So you may be dealing with a Scorpio this month. There may be a Scorpio involved in this somehow. But, Scorpio is the sign. It is the death card. It is death. It is rebirth. It is sort of like a regenerative situation. So I can see that in your cards, that regeneration, right? You have the plane here upside down, and the plane could be travel plans that you're keeping to yourself, travel plans that you are, planning covertly. This also could be if you made plans to travel in February, they may fall through. Either you may change them, you may change your mind, or maybe a flight. It could be something very simple, like your flight gets canceled and you need to, book another flight. It doesn't have to be nefarious or huge, but there's travel here on the table, and it is upside down. So the upside down charm is either something being done covertly or something coming up that you're not aware of right now. Okay. You have here the angel, and you've gotten this a few times in your reading, and that is obviously spiritual help from the other side, whatever your belief system is, right? The law of attraction, angels, God, Jesus, Allah, whatever it is you believe in, you're getting help from another source that is spiritual. Now, what's interesting is you do have the exorcism. You have the exorcism coin. And, when we look at this, and we look at the separation card and we look at all the different cards we talked about in the more authentic version of you coming to the surface, I think you are taking steps to change something in your life, to exit out, to make room, right? When you get rid of something, even if it's an aspect of yourself that's outdated, right? You're making room for something better. You're making room for something more. Okay, definitely. Now, when we look at your astro, let's start with this. You have Cancer here on the table. Oh, no, excuse me. You have a Scorpio here. Wow, you have Scorpio twice. Interesting. So seriously, you have some serious Scorpio energy here on the table, Leo. Like you could be dealing, this could have something to do with a Scorpio, but I'm telling you, no matter what, this is death and rebirth. It is the death of something and the origin story of another thing. Wow. Interesting. Okay, let's look at your other cards here. Definitely keep that scorpionic energy under your hat here because it's big for some reason. You do have Lilith, and Lilith is power, activism. It could be vengeance. That could be Lilith is also scorpionic energy. It is very, very Scorpio. Very, very Scorpio in many ways. So when we look at Lilith, right, it embodies your dark side. It represents your shadow, your anger, your boundaries. Lilith embraces your inner authority and sense of justice. Sexuality is expressed here for sure, especially those parts of yourself you choose to do or show only behind closed doors. Lilith walks a fine line between empowerment and exposure. It really depends on how well your own vulnerabilities, how you own them. Okay? Look to Lilith to sort of explore parts of yourself that you hold on to where buried emotions lie. Buried emotions lie. These emotions can propel you into sort of taking action, taking aligned action. Even if you feel misunderstood, even if people look at you and misunderstand you, it looks like Lilith beckons you here. Fascinating. Okay, you also have the third quarter moon. And it says breakdown, 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 readjustment. It also says forgiveness. Now, when we look at the third quarter moon, it's a phase of readjustment, right? As you break down your intentions to realign yourself to the vibration of your desires. The moon is like at sort of 90, like a 90-degree angle to the sun and the earth at this time. It's half illuminated, half in the shadow. The sun and the moon make an astrological square, creating tension with their energies, like with their angles. And at this point in the lunar cycle, the subconscious narratives are coming to the surface. What did we say about Lilith? There is something coming to the surface here. There is something coming to the surface. Something that's buried, something that may be a part of you. Maybe it was a part of you all along, and you're looking at it like it's new and it's not. Maybe you're getting rid of something to make room for this thing that's coming. Wow. Definitely. Awareness of your patterns can direct you, right? We said that with the Lilith card too, to make long-lasting change and breaking things down to have a breakthrough. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for the tarot. With all that said here, Leo. All right, so let's look at the first leg of your month here. You did, I don't know if you watched the shuffle and the layout, but there were cards falling out left and right, and it was pretty interesting. You have two oracle cards here. One says fulfillment and wish, and the other says trust in divine timing. So there is some sort of wish coming to the surface, and you are making room for it. You are making room for it somehow. Let's look at the cards. Let me see. I will move this so you can see it but right now I just need to, because you pulled so many cards. I mean, it's not typical, okay? So you start out the month here with the Four of Wands. I mean, I don't know if you know anything at all about tarot, but this is Venus and Aries energy, and it is a really good card, right? Between this and the two oracle cards, is this your mindset? Is this how you're coming into the month, where you're coming in so optimistic, so positive, so in such manifesting energy? Or are you going through a really positive time and you're bringing that into the month with you? It could be either, but you do have Temperance here in reverse. And, you know, that is straight up Sagittarian energy, right? We talked about that right here. And there's a sort of, this could be a lack of balance, like we have said over and over again. This could be a lack of balance, or this could be breaking from bad habits. It could actually also mean a lack of patience, right? And I could picture that with a fire sign, that things starting to go well, or you coming in with a mindset like, yeah, I know, but I want it now. You know, could be. Well, let's continue, and we'll definitely have some sort of an idea about this. I'm trying to move this to where you can see everything. And honestly, you should definitely, you have trust in divine timing, and you have this beautiful wish fulfillment card. Beautiful energy. Okay, so you have here, you have 3 cards, right? You have, to start out with, you have the moon in reverse. As we know, the moon is very Neptunian, right? It is Neptune energy. So it can be very, when it's right side up, it can be very confusing. It can be very shadowy. It can be very, you know, not clear. When it's in reverse like this, it could very well mean sudden clarity, waking up, something happening to snap your brain into something positive here. And you have the, you know, to follow this up, you have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Once again, 5 of Pentacles is right side up anyway, is a notorious card of many times of failure, of destitution, of things not going your way. It is in reverse here, right? And it is Mercury and Taurus energy. The moon, by the way, is Cancer energy. But it is Mercury and Taurus energy, right? Overcoming something. Greater resilience. The worst is over. But don't expect change overnight. And that may be where some of the impatience is coming. But man, you have this. You have this. This is my favorite wand card, right? And this is Jupiter in Leo. Victory. This is a victory card. Don't let all this go to your head. I mean, be happy, but don't let, yeah, look, I'm saying don't let it go to your head. And then the next card is ego here, but let's not jump ahead. When we add this up and we break it down, we get the number 11. And then, as you know, the number 11 is like the initiator, right? It is a cardinal number. What have you initiated? What have you breathed life into? What did you bring into the month with you? There is something here. There is an excitement in the air here. Now, you know, moving into your second leg, we have that vanity and pride, you know. So don't let this energy go to your head. I mean, it might be easy to do that. Let's look at your cards. You have, you know, it's weird. So you have the King of Wands in reverse, and the King of Wands in reverse can be many things that are negative. But it is your card. This is Sun in Leo, right? And I have to tell you, I think it's surrounded by good cards. I'm looking at this card and I'm thinking, you could have great, first of all, you could have great internal conflict between what's expected of you and what you are showing. There's a certain level of unpredictability here. And it's not in reality, it's really just how others are seeing you. They're seeing you upside down. They're like, wait a minute, what happened to Leo? Why is Leo acting so different? Out of character. There is something out of character about Leo. He or she are not themselves, right? At least in their eyes. Maybe you are more yourself now, or you're attaining more authenticity than ever before. It's just that people aren't used to it, right? The people around you are like confused by your behavior, right? I don't know. The separation between the two parts of yourself may confuse people, especially as you're making room for something else, because of the center of your whole month, the center of your whole reading is the Ace of Cups. This could be, oh God, I mean, it's a great card, right? It is water energy, and you have water energy here as well. It is reaching a level of comfort, right? It is new beginnings. It's new beginnings for happiness. There is something new here on the table for you. You do have the Knight of Cups here in reverse, coming right after that. And it's Neptune in Pisces. It could be you changing your mind about something, taking back your energy. You're taking back your offer of energy to something. Like I said, it could be a part of you. It could be a decision you made a long time ago that you've outgrown. You're like, no, I don't want that anymore. I'm taking back my energy from that. Other people don't look happy about this, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. It's going to be different for all of you, but I have to tell you, when we add this up and we break it down, we get the number one. Number one is obviously a first step towards something, but more importantly, it is sun energy. It is your energy, Leo, the sun. It manifests as one's core self, a life force energy, a strong sense of identity. So like when we look at your third leg, you do have Venus. And Venus, we know Venus is the planet of love, but it's also the planet of opportunity for money. It is our abundance and our love. There is an offer here, or there is some sort of new opportunity. Okay, you have the Nine of Pentacles. I mean, you have Venus as an opportunity card and an offer card, and you have the Nine of Pentacles here, this Venus in Virgo, at rewards for efforts, achievement, abundance. And it's in the same row as that Four of Wands energy. It is in the same row as that King of Wands energy in reverse. There may be people that don't understand, but I think you're becoming more authentic for some reason. Let's see. The very next card is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands coming in sideways. This could be a counterpart. This could be someone you're involved with, Leo, because we know that the Queen of Wands is the King of Wands counterpart. And she, doesn't have to be she, could be he, but she is coming in sideways. And that means she is off balance. Your counterpart is off balance. Your counterpart may need balancing. We talked about that rebalancing. This unbalance that you're going through, this imbalance, this constant, it could very well be a counterpart in your life. Maybe the counterpart you're dealing with is not balanced correctly. It very well could be, right? Coming in sideways, this person could waffle a lot, right? It could be a waffling energy. Very well could be. You have, ironically enough, you do have Justice here in reverse. That imbalance, it's Libra energy, but those scales, right? Those scales that we talk about pretty much every reading in some way, one form or another. It's that damn imbalance again. Or it could very well be that you felt there was an injustice done to yourself, and you no longer want something for yourself. You have here the Ten of Wands. And we know the Ten of Wands is a pretty high stress card, right? The Ten of Wands is Saturn and Sagittarius. Stress. But it's odd because I'm getting that the stress is constructive stress, right? The stress that we undertake to accomplish things, or the stress that we find ourselves in when we're leveling up. It's stress. But it's good stress. At least I think it is. All right? We'll figure that out when we go on to the rest of the reading. But when we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter again. Sagittarian energy. It's expansion. So there's your Ten of Wands energy, right? For expansion, for optimism, for growth. It manifests as expansion and growth. Very interesting here, Leo. As always, let's look at your challenges. So here on your challenges, right? What's challenging? Just because something's challenging doesn't mean you're not going to overcome it. We have challenges every single day in our lives in one form or another. So you have fragmented, right? Somebody in your life may feel rejected, may feel somebody around you may feel a loss of some kind when certain aspects of you disappear or start to change. You may find your chemistry with someone may be off or maybe a challenge because of certain news, certain things that happen. You do have here the Page of Cups, right? You have the Page of, don't start barking, guys. You have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is Moon in Cancer, right? It is maturation, right? When you look at the Page of, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. So there's a certain maturation going on this month, a certain type of change, right? And it is going to be a little bit challenging for you. You have the Empress, right? And that is like Taurus Libra energy. It is fertility, it is creativity, it is success, abundance. It's a challenge. You are leveling up, but the energy around this leveling up seems challenging. You do have the 10 of coins in reverse. You know, the 10 of coins is Mercury in Virgo. It is, it could be looked at as breaking free from something, a need to change long-term goals. I mean, you have two number 10s too, right? The 10 of wands, the 10 of coins. It is endings and new beginnings. It is that Scorpio energy of death and rebirth. And when we add this column up and we break it down, we get Uranus, Aquarian energy. And this manifests as change, reform. Yeah, and it makes perfect sense, doesn't it, Leo? Let's move on to our opportunities. So when we look at this, we see, it says spy, but I'm thinking inspection. You're really looking at things closely. It could be other people looking at you closely, okay? You have an opportunity to show them something different if that's the case. But here, what's interesting, in your opportunities column, you have the 10 of Wands again. So I was right. The 10 of Wands, in your reading anyway, in this reading, is positive. It is the stress that comes along with leveling up, right? It's stress for reward. It is stress for reward. This leads into the 7 of coins. The 7 of coins, the 7 of pentacles. And the 7 of pentacles is, you know, Saturn and Taurus. It is a chance to dream a different dream. It is assessing your progress. It is perseverance. It is a reward card as well. It is the fruits of the sweat of your brow. It is the fruit of your labor. Okay. And fascinating. Here we go. More Scorpio energy. We have as your final card, the Death card. Change, rebirth, reincarnating as something else. Going through that metamorphosis. And when we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter energy again. Jupiter is a big deal. The expansion in this thing, a big deal. Sagittarian energy again. Very, very, very interesting reading. You're definitely leveling up in some way here, Leo. Definitely leveling up. Let me give us a quick shuffle. For Leo, you have a seduction, passion and romance await. I'm wondering here if there is someone in your love life that is a part of this whole situation, right? Or there might be an aspect of your life that is seducing you back, like to the other side, to a different side. Yeah, there's something passionate about the way you're feeling. At the bottom of the deck, what do we have? We have the Chimera. Imagination clouds your judgment. That could be, but I really do think with that moon in reverse, with that moon in reverse, I think that whatever clouds you had going on here, Leo, they're going to be cleared up. The moon in reverse tells us that. The moon in reverse says that what was once cloudy is now clear. That moment of clarity we talked about. I do think there is somebody, there may be somebody here in your life that may be confused about your goals, your new goals. It very well could be, but it could very well be too that there is something seducing you to a different timeline, a different version of you, a more authentic version of you. Let's look at your numbers, okay? So you have you have the number 10 that was mentioned the most, and that is Pluto/Scorpion energy. Yep. And when I say mentioned, I don't mean in passing. I mean it was actually on a card. It was a broken down number. It was part of your reading, okay? And also Uranus, which is that change, right? Aquarian energy, change, reform, redoing. When we add all the numbers in this reading up and we break it down, we get the number 11, the initiator, the cardinal number 11. Well, you're initiating something. You're breathing life into something. Your lucky numbers are 9, 10, 19, 31, 7, and 8. Now, when we look at your planets, the planet that came out the most, of course, was Jupiter, the planet of expansion. I mean, you can't say it enough times in enough ways, right? Now, the signs that we mentioned were Aries, Sagittarius, Cancer, Taurus, Leo, Pisces, Libra, Aquarius, Virgo, and of course, Scorpio. Now, the sign that was mentioned the most, this might surprise you, was Sagittarius. I mean, it might and it might not, because we talked about that Jupiter energy throughout this whole reading, you know? So, I mean, it doesn't really surprise me. And as far as that Scorpio energy, it takes a back seat. It's in the back seat with Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. They're together. Taurus, Leo. It's so interesting. Those are all fixed. That's very fixed energy. You might be very laser focused on something. There's something that has your focus. There is something that's making you jump timelines. Interesting. Let me know in the comments here, Leo. Okay? I wish you all the best, and I will see you next month.